Welcome to Witch Yes, a podcast for casual conjurings, witches in training, and those obsessed with the new Sabrina, the Teenage Witch reboot.
Woo!
Yes.
I'm Alicia Herder.
And I'm Terra Keck.
On today's podcast, what type of witch do you want to be, witches in the news, and a spell to combat the blues.
Alicia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm really good.
I'm a lot less drunk this time.
Oh, I don't know if anyone could tell. We were just having a good time last time.
Yeah, we were having a great time.
How are you feeling about our second episode? Are you excited?
I'm great. I'm very excited.
Okay.
I feel like I've had enough coffee, I've had enough wine, and I'm still very hydrated. So I feel very in it.
You are, yeah. Your skin looks great. What type of witch do you want to be, Alicia? What are my options? Can I take a Quizilla?
The fun witch. We should have made a quiz.
We
should still make a quiz.
There's still time.
Okay, when we launch the Instagram, we'll have a quiz. It would probably just be like, you're Sabrina. It would not give you any answers.
Yep, you're a witch.
100% witchy.
Are you a witch? Yes, you're a witch.
50% trying too hard. That would be our quiz.
Something that I definitely want to stress at the beginning, and we were sort of talking about this before, is like separating our realm of witchcraft from Wicca. Not because I'm not interested in that, but because I'm not necessarily Wicca. For those of you that don't know, but you probably do know, is that it's like a religious system, and it's part of the earth-based religions. It seems to me that some have specific goddesses and gods that they worship, and some don't. But as we go through this, I want to make it known that we're not necessarily talking about Wicca as a religious base. We're more interested in more open systems of witchcraft and practicing magic.
Yeah. And hopefully one day we'll bring in someone who does know Wicca and they can tell us a lot more about that.
Yeah. So you've prepared a list for us.
I prepared a list and it's amazing.
It is. It's in purple.
It's great. It's in purple because that's my favorite color. First up is the traditional witch, which basically means pull out your history of magic textbooks. Like, this is the witch. If you watch the movie The Witch, that's this witch.
I have watched that movie.
It's a great movie. It's very scary. It's a great movie. Highly recommend. But basically, traditional witches are founded in the history of witchcraft and the old craft that came before Wicca. So they often study their ancestors and read ancient texts and folklore about what happened during ancient times, during the old craft.
Oh man, bring out those dusty old tomes. Do you like books?
Do you like books?
Maybe you're a traditional witch. Do you like books? Do you love the library?
I do like the library.
Oh, maybe.
Everyone should get their library card. You have one, don't you?
I do.
I don't have one.
I had to lie. I had to lie to the woman and say I left my New York ID at home.
And you still got one?
And I still got one.
That's amazing.
She gave me a temp. She was like, just between you and me. No, I think that's a normal thing they do.
She's a witch.
She knew.
She knew.
She's a traditional witch because she works in a library.
Yeah. So we have traditional witches, and then we wanted to touch upon two types of witches in the Wiccan realm, which are the Gardnerian witch and the Alexandrian witch. They are two separate Wiccan denominations, and they are both initiation-based. So if you think about it, it's kind of in a lighter tone, the Death Eaters of Harry Potter. You know how it's initiation-based. Mostly that. Not all the evil and everything.
Oh, I see this. Okay.
Yes, they definitely have a type of caste structure and how you basically start as a level 1 witch and then there are different levels until I think you get to like a high priest sort of thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I think it's with time and how dedicated you are to the craft and to the community. And the major differences between the two is Gardnerian witches have strong ties to nature and many rituals that are the foundations of their practice. But Alexandrian, on the other hand, is less structured than the Gardnerian and seen as more eclectic while working with more ceremonial magic and the Kabbalah as well. Kabbalah with a Q, not with a K, so not like all the celebrities back in 2006. This is something different, but they kind of have ties to the same thing.
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. So the Alexandrian witch, did it come after the Gardnerian witch?
So it looks like they were kind of born around the same time. One Gardnerian Wicca is from 1954, and Alexandrian says it's about the 1960s in the United Kingdom, as Gardnerian is also from the United Kingdom. The more you know.
Those British witches.
That's where it started, right?
Yeah.
It's still there.
Amazing.
It's amazing. So that's the only types of Wiccan witches that we're going to touch upon for this one. I'm sure there are many other denominations of Wiccans that have very distinct rules.
Yeah, flavors to them. Right?
Flavors.
Spicy flavors. And
Death Eater flavors.
Death Eater flavors.
You know, all types of flavors.
Are you a Snape or are you a Malfoy?
Well, I mean, if you look at the family tree, everyone's basically related at that point. There's not much difference. So moving on, a hedge witch is up next. And hedge witches are more like spiritual guides that can send messages between us in this world and the spiritual world. It comes from the saying across the hedge. So if you think of it like a village back in the old day, and then there would be a hedge that would separate the outside world with all its scary things and the forest and everything versus the little community. Mm-hmm. Hedge witches were able to grow across that hedge spiritually, and I'm sure physically.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed to me, like when I was doing my research, that they were very much interested in the liminal planes and the idea of that transition and working with spirits and working with ancestors and really focusing on out-of-body experiences, astral projection, astral travel. But I had a question. Mm-hmm. Is a psychic medium a hedge witch, or is a hedge witch a psychic medium? Because if you're thinking about like women or men or people beyond the binary, you know, you go to this place and you like have the seance or whatever, you just ring up your dead grandpappy to ask him where he buried his gold. You go to a psychic and they contact him, they ring him up on the phone. Is that a hedge witch?
I think it has aspects of that. Through a lot of our research, there wasn't really one category of witch that was like, this is the psychic witch. Yeah. So I think mediums would probably go more towards the realm of hedge witches.
And then also, is a Ouija board a part of like the hedge witch like tool kit? Like that was really interesting to me. Is like the idea of the hedge and like the crossing over some sort of, or traversing like this boundary of like our quote unquote like flesh reality, I guess. And like the different tools, that's something I'm really interested in. Yeah. Is Hasbro employing hedge witches to create and fashion Ouija boards to induct more hedge witches into our communities? Wake up, America. So next is Kitchen Witch.
Next is Kitchen Witch, which is basically potions class. Welcome to potions class, bitches. Turn to page 394. Kitchen witches do most of their magic in the comfort of their own home, and they find a certain type of magic just in the living quarters, in the space that they live in. And they love to cook and brew using different herbs. I would say it's more like earthy based.
Yeah. There were a lot of like parallels between the Kitchen Witch and one we're going to talk about soon, the Green Witch. Mm-hmm. The Garden Witch. I thought something that was really interesting was for the Kitchen Witch, they often have like gardens, or they're really concerned with where they source their herbs and ingredients from. And the idea that like where you get your nutrients actually could affect the potency of their magic. Mm-hmm. That if you grow it yourself and you care for it, that is somehow more powerful and you have more of a connectedness to the things that you bring into the world and then use for your magic. Some questions. Do you love tea? How many mugs do you have? Have you ever felt that the way to a man's heart and his wallet is through his stomach?
That's true, though. Like, you do not need to be a kitchen witch to know that that's true. Have you met a man? Just one.
Any of them.
Any man. The answer is
you
yes.
might be a kitchen witch. Is that... Oh no, is that TM'd? You might be.
From what?
From the hillbilly comedians.
I don't know who those are.
Those men.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You might be the redneck one. The Larry the Cable Guy and his crew. I don't know. I don't know if we can put that in there, Marcel.
I've never heard of this in my life, so I think we can feign ignorance.
No, this is real.
No way.
It's so real.
I don't know what you're even talking about still.
You know Larry the Cable Guy, though, right?
Yeah, but I don't listen to him.
No. I mean, no one does anymore, unless they're watching Cars. But like...
Is he in Cars?
He's in Cars! He is! He's in Cars 2 and 3!
I have an MFA in film. Not in automotives.
Okay. TM, please don't sue us.
So green witches are garden forest type witches, which is your Herbology 101 class, your Professor Sprout. These are people who are highly connected to the earth. They're very dedicated to an environmentally healthy lifestyle. Like these are your vegan vegetarian witches who compost and recycle and make sure their carbon footprint is as small as possible. And it actually is a sacred duty to them to minimize their human footprint on Earth, which is amazing because there are so many articles right now about how we're going to die very soon. In like, what, 20 years?
Green witches are going to save us.
Green witches are going to save us. We should all just become green witches.
Yeah, you don't know what you want to be?
Be a green witch.
Be a green witch.
Like, help the earth.
And then something that I read was that you don't necessarily have to be surrounded by like agricultural land or forest to be a green witch. Like you and I, we live in Brooklyn. So
It's not going to happen.
it's not going to happen. We have Prospect Park, I guess. I have Prospect
Yeah.
Park. But like the idea is that most cities have green spaces that you can go to, but it's also really normal for green witches, similar to kitchen witches, to have their own gardens or take care of plants or have sort of like this intimate relationship with plants, or that they practice mindfulness with them, like care for them and exchange energy with them. So if you're a green witch but you live in freaking Manhattan,
Join a co-op.
join a co-op for onesies, for twosies. Also, you should just join the co-op anyway. But for twosies, like if you have a window, you can grow plants on your own. And if you live in a basement apartment, then I'm sorry, but like
Make a friend who has a window.
Who has a window.
Just one friend.
Do you have a cubicle that is close to a window?
There are also, I was walking around Manhattan, and I wish I remembered where exactly I was at, but there are community spaces where you can just go and garden.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah.
So I think even that, just take a walk around the neighborhood, and hopefully you can find something that will let you go back to the earth.
Do you have a favorite tree in your neighborhood? Go up and like clean it up, or like leave a little token or some sort of offering to it. There are so many opportunities for us to commune with nature that I don't think we're always super aware of.
I like that.
So here's what's up.
Green Witch is probably a subsext. That wasn't the word. Subsexting.
Subsexing? If you're subsexting, are you just like, yes, hit me? Like, what do you like?
Is it
me,
subtext
daddy?
to text? Is it just whenever someone says sure?
Whatever.
It's true though.
Sure.
That's fine. Love you too.
And you know, I would also say that for me, Green Witch seems to be maybe a subcategory of Elemental Witch, which is the next witch that we're going to talk about.
They are basically the avatar state of witchcraft. Earth, wind, water, and fire, all in one. These witches focus on all four elements to create their witchcraft and their sorcery and do whatever they need to do to get through their little witch lives.
That's amazing.
I
That's
know.
like the coolest thing I've ever heard of.
I know, it's really awesome.
You're
Like
right.
how to be very grounded in this world.
Mhm.
Like how else do you do it besides using all four elements?
Yeah, and it seems to me that each element comes with like this complex web of associations. Like each element has a cardinal direction, a specific time of day, a season, a crystal, ruling planets, favorite items to order at Panera Bread. That was a weird joke I wrote at 11 at night, and I
liked
said
it,
it out
though.
loud.
I liked it. And it's also your astrology sign is
Yeah.
connected to one of those four elements.
Yeah, true. I've also seen for elemental witches, some people using a fifth element, the element of spirit.
Okay.
And I've seen it a couple different places, and I'm not sure how you channel that, if that sort of goes into hedge witch, or if, you know, like the boundaries between all of these different kinds of witches sort of blur between one another. But I don't necessarily think it's 100% needed that you have to incorporate that, the element
Sounds
of spirit.
very cool though. I like that. What a lot of these witches use, though, there's a certain kind of witch for this, and it's called a ceremonial witch. And so a lot of these other witches use ceremonial aspects in their witchcraft, but ceremonial witches focus on that, just the ceremonies and the rituals themselves. So they call on specific beings and spiritual entities to assist them with what they're casting, which is very cool to integrate that into their witchcraft. So that's a little hedge witchy.
Yeah.
A little hedge witchy.
Yeah, it seemed that most witches use ceremony, but to focus entirely on ceremony, or to have the act of ritual and ceremony be integral to your practice. If you're interested in that, you might be interested in becoming a ceremonial witch.
Yeah, I feel like it might loosely equate, so guys, take me lightly, to going to mass at like a Catholic church. It's very ritualized. It's very ceremonious in itself. Like having the bread, having the wine, all of it is part of this bigger ceremony that's supposed to connect you to your religious spirit. And I almost think that ceremonial witch would go in with that kind of intention. Just the very focused, this is what I'm doing. And then it's an accomplishment to have done the task.
Can I tell like a story really quick?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it about me?
It's not about you.
Okay, you were giving me a look.
It's not
I
about
was
you.
like, am I saying bullshit?
No. Can I tell a story? This is in relationship to the Catholic Church, and this is not against the Catholic Church, but I have this friend, and we went out for drinks the other night, and he was telling me that he used to be like an altar boy or something like that.
Scary.
And it was terrifying.
Terrifying time for
Amazing that
altar
he came
boys.
out.
I know.
He came out alive.
Yeah.
And unscathed, relatively unscathed. But it was his job to like go and get the wafers that would then be transmuted into like the flesh of Christ, right?
Okay, so they use wafers instead of bread. Maybe people just
Yeah, I think
do that.
people use
Okay.
wafers now, or kind of kind of
Bread makes you
a
fat.
crisp, a nice crisp.
A nice crisp. I wish they were cookies.
I know. Get some Thin Mints in there.
Yeah. Thin Mints are so good, though.
But that's not my story. The story is that he was like going to get the crisp, getting the wafers.
Mm-hmm.
And he like fucking butterfingers and threw all these crisps on the ground. And he was horrified. He's like trying to pick them up. And the priest comes by and he's like, it's not Jesus yet.
That's amazing. Also, I want like a priest like on a skateboard rolling in, being like,
it's aight, kid.
It's
hey,
aight.
Hey, fellow kid, it's aight. Don't worry, it's not Jesus yet.
It's not Jesus yet.
And they threw him away. And he got some new crisps. But in
That's
my
good.
heart, they just blew the crisps off
Into the
dust
wind.
and put them in back in the container.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
what they
so
won't know.
ceremony. Yeah, the importance of ceremony.
Yeah, go back.
So, do you own a sword? Have you ever wanted to own a sword?
Yes.
Have you ever been excited about the possibility that the sword that you own could perhaps do magic? Every ceremonial witch...
I've never thought of this, but that's awesome.
I know, right?
I'm so about it.
Every ceremonial witch image I found on Tumblr had a sword in it. So I think that also ceremonial witches need swords.
But why?
Do you have a sword?
No, but I want one.
We should get that. And then this will be our subject.
I wonder why.
I don't
Did
know.
it say why?
Maybe that's like an old ceremony. I also saw a lot of daggers. So I
So
don't...
some like King Arthur shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Like ceremony as being something that's like passed down,
Okay.
you know, from generation to generation, story to story, and
Sword to sword.
sword to sword. Kinky.
Kink. Yeah, all right, shit. Get yourself a sword. If you take anything away from this podcast today, get yourself a sword.
Get yourself a sword. Every
That's it.
woman and every
woman should have a sword.
yeah, every femme should have a sword.
Yeah.
Every just everyone except for straight white men should have swords.
Yeah. And please make sure you double check your laws in your state before you walk around with
Can
a
you
sword.
open carry a sword?
I
don't
do
think
not
open
think you're
carry a
allowed to
sword.
do that. I think it's very illegal. I think I've looked it up before.
What are you doing? Alicia, they're just gonna like look at your search history. Can you bring a sword to the library? Can you bring a sword to the airport?
No, because it's metal.
What?
So you can't do it at least. Well, I don't know. They have metal detectors at the library too. Or those library book.
They're looking for the...
They're looking for stealing books. They should be looking
Your
for
whole-
swords.
your-
What? Makes no fucking sense.
Wake up, America!
Wake up, America. Go vote. They will have voted by the time this podcast comes out. That's the best part.
I hope that you did. And if you didn't, you're going to get it next time.
Yeah.
Just like remain vigilant.
If you didn't vote, you're dead to me. That's me. Terra still likes you. Up next, Hereditary Witch. So basically the purebloods of the witches community. They're your fucking Dracos, your Sabrina Spellmans, your Harry Potters, even though he's like half, but that still counts.
He's not half. I thought he was pure blood.
No, isn't he like a quarter? Or he's like half.
Yeah, because his mom was born of Muggles.
Yeah.
You're right. Hereditary witch.
Hereditary Witch.
From a line of witches.
Mm-hmm. So Marnie from Halloween Town, hereditary. But from everything I read about it, you can be a hereditary witch and grow up in a witch household, but it is still your choice whether you want to follow witchcraft or not.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have been like, nope, not interested, and then you try to like claim hereditary witch, like you can, but you need to like start putting in the effort to actually practice witchcraft.
Is that kind of like people that are like, oh yeah, I'm Irish Catholic, but I haven't been to mass in like 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People whose grandmas are like angry at them right now. That's what it is.
Your grandma's angry at you. You are a hereditary witch.
If she's angry for that reason.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You're a hereditary witch. Sometimes grandmas just get mad.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's okay.
Sometimes grandmas
Because
are
they're allowed to.
And
they're older than you, so like you should just leave them alone. Let them do what they want. Another type of witch is the solitary witch, which is basically a witch who likes to do rituals and ceremonies and spell work on their own. So if you can't find a coven, or if you're just not even interested in social interaction that much, which I totally understand you. I stayed in last Saturday night, so I get it. Solitary is great. But this might be like the type of witch for you.
Yeah. Another thing that I didn't write in our notes, but something that I definitely want to bring up, witches that don't necessarily feel safe practicing their magic. Something that I've seen thrown around a lot is like witches still in the broom closet, which does appropriate like queer culture, but as queer women, I'm feeling like it's okay that we say that. But like the idea is that you don't necessarily feel comfortable or safe in the environment that you're in, and therefore have to practice alone and have to practice in secret. That does feel like it's a part of solitary witch.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe, hopefully someday you feel safe and you're in a space where you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Jessica, this is for you.
Jessica, this is for you. Or if you're just the type of witch that hates planning things.
God, I hate planning things.
Be a solitary witch.
I hate planning. What if no one shows up?
What if no one shows up?
I'm just there alone at my own birthday party.
Because we all know Facebook doesn't work.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. The younger kids, they don't even use Facebook. I don't know how they show up. Is it one big DM? Like, I don't know. If you're from a younger generation, tweet at us. Let us know how it works these days.
Tell me how you do this.
At me.
But only you.
Only you. Because we have no clue how anything gets done. And then the generation above us, they're sending events through like email. It's like, nah, get that shit out. I don't know.
Don't mail me anything.
Unless it's like grandma.
Grams
can email. No, Grams doesn't know how to email. But if she did know how to email, I would accept it. She's great. Hi, Nancy. I love you.
We all love you, Nancy.
And another type of witch is the eclectic witch, which is basically like not one set religion, practice, tradition, culture, but you can just pull from anything you want. So if you're like, I want to be the fucking avatar and do ceremonial witchcraft and cross the hedge,
I want to.
You could combine all those.
You cannot contain me.
I am powerful. But you can combine all of those and just be an eclectic witch. So if you don't want to like go into one specific category, you just say I'm eclectic, which is kind of like I'm young and hip and cool.
Yeah.
Of the witches.
I'm not trying to label. I don't like labels.
I don't like labels.
Labels are for soup cans. Do people still say that?
No, I've never heard that before.
Really?
That was incredible. Can you say it again?
Labels are for soup cans.
That's amazing. I guess so.
You've never.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it is. Shit. So if you don't want to be tomato soup, you can be eclectic soup.
Eclectic. I don't know what's in the soup.
I don't know what's in. It's a new soup every time. What? What is this?
It sounds like some ridiculous shit that an angry mom would do. She like buys a bunch of soup and she takes all the labels off and she's like, I don't know, Jerry, you fucking choose. I don't give a shit.
And Jerry's in there and just like,
he's like, oh god.
Also,
this
Jerry
sounds chunky.
Always the name of my future pug. So when I finally get one, so this is better. A pug just making soup. Oh. He has a cute little witch hat on. He's just making soup. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I'm an eclectic
He's a pug.
witch.
I'm an eclectic witch. Yeah, they're the fun witch. And you said bisexual.
I know.
That was a note. Did you want to expand upon that?
I just really love all the gifts.
That's fair.
Okay.
Of bisexual?
Bisexual, I see a lot of them where they're like, I'm not gay, I'm not straight, I'm bisexual.
That's cute.
And then like Halloween.
I like that. That's cute. Did we want to talk about the sea witch?
I don't know. So here's just a couple subgenres that we didn't necessarily go into because I don't know how large their community is or how set the parameters of their practices. So you're gonna run into a lot of different ones. And even just like reading through a couple of my books, I saw more. I mean, one that came up a lot was Sea Witch, which is also a bar in Brooklyn I can never go to again. And then there's the Tech Witch, which is a very modern type of witch. And something I see a lot online is like emoji spells or emoji sigils that I think are really cute and precious, and I love them.
Please expand. How do you do an emoji spell? Do you just emoji a picture?
Do you charge your phone? Like, do you in the moonlight? I'm not sure, but I see a lot of stuff that's a specific set of emojis, usually symmetrical. Okay, here's an emoji spell to help make November a prosperous month. Here we go. Little crystal ball, tiny maple leaf, the 10 emoji, the money bags emoji.
The 10 emoji?
The 10 emoji.
What's the 10 emoji?
It looks like 10. It looks like a 10. It's got 10 on it.
Oh.
Then the maple leaf again.
Okay.
Then the crystal ball again. Emoji spell to help make November a prosperous month.
I love that.
Or like,
that's cool.
A lot of them have candles. It seems to me that a lot of them have symmetry and are very cute.
That's awesome.
Oh, and also the use of online covens. So that could also be another thing that witches that are not in the social position or have a home life that naturally allows them to practice their craft, that online covens could be a solution for that.
So techno-paganism is a Wikipedia page, so we know it's legit. And it was talking about basically what you were saying, just like using emojis for spells and sigils. But it was also talking about having a disc of shadows instead of a book of shadows. Whoa. But I'm like,
I can't put a disc in my fucking computer.
My computer's too good. Like, doesn't have CDs anymore. I was really pissed when I had to give up my CD DVD technology. So I don't know if this is something that grows. Like, wasn't once like you had a book and then you had like a floppy disk and now you have a USB drive and now it's in the cloud.
A cloud of shadows.
I think a cloud of shadows brought to you by Apple would be amazing.
I love this idea.
Imagine like the next person who goes and like leaks shit. It's not going to be celebrity nudes. It's going to be all your spells in the cloud. What? Awesome.
Amazing.
It's amazing. And I guess to say with that, what kind of witch do you want to be, Terra?
What kind of witch do I want to be?
Yeah, we've touched on everything. Not everything. There are more witches. But like, what are you feeling from what we've talked about?
I can't be a hedge witch because I'm afraid of spirits and dead things.
That's the best answer I've ever heard. That's good.
I can't be a kitchen witch because I can't cook at all in any way or shape or form. And I don't like tea that much.
I don't like tea.
I've tried really hard to like tea.
I haven't tried that hard. We're coffee girls.
I know. Give me my latte. Is there a latte witch? Sorry, that's terrible. I mean, I guess the one that interested me the most was the green witch, because I really love plants and I feel like I have an intimate relationship with my plants, and my plants are taking care of my plants is a big part of me practicing mindfulness, and that I could see myself channeling their energy. And also plants are other living things, and I definitely believe in the transfer of energy between living things. Or maybe an eclectic witch. I think that on some level, maybe this is wrong, so please forgive me, listeners. Am I wrong in saying that I feel like almost all spells incorporate a certain level of elemental witchcraft? Like if you are burning a candle, if you are using fire, using earth, using plant matter, I think that, yeah, you can focus on it and be an elemental witch. I think that the flavor of elemental witchcraft is in so many, if not all.
So maybe it's just how you focus on it.
Yeah, the intentionality of your practice. But yeah, that's, I guess, the kind of witch I would want to be. And I mean, I guess
I like it. You're just a 21st century witch.
I'm just a 21st century urban witch.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
What about you, Alicia? Alicia, what kind of witch do you want to be?
Oh, I'm definitely eclectic. Have you met me? I'm an eclectic witch, and I don't know, we haven't done, or I can't say we. I haven't done a lot of like coven witchcraft, like big community. So when I do witchcraft, it'll be by myself or with you. Which, I mean, I don't need anyone else besides you. You can be my whole coven.
You complete me.
You complete me. We are best friends. So, I mean, I'll take a little bit of the solitary witch. I'm not hereditary witch at all. I mean, like, my family's like Presbyterian, so maybe it counts, but I don't think it counts. And then I think I would want to focus on, like, elemental witchcraft. And just like focusing more on the 4 natural elements of the earth, along with kitchen witch. Like, I actually really like cooking.
Oh,
I know. Isn't that cute?
That is so cute. I didn't know this about you, actually.
Oh, yeah. I love cooking. My mom's like a really great cook. And then I went to undergrad where I did not cook. And I went to grad school where I did not cook. And within like the past year and a half, I've decided, I was like, oh, well, I don't have money to eat out anymore. I got to start cooking. But I actually really like it. It very much calms me down. It gives me a task to do. Like, I like feeling immersed in it. And I make good shit. You're going to have to come over for my vegetarian chili, which I think is vegan. Like, I've looked at all the ingredients, and I'm pretty sure it's vegan. It's amazing. So
I would love that. Yeah, and I've never practiced with a coven my whole life. Like, I've been dabbling in
I wasn't
Wicca,
sure if you had or not.
in witchcraft since I was like 12.
Yeah.
And I had that embarrassing time when my mother found all of my witchcraft books that I had checked out from the library hidden underneath my bed, and she left them out on top of my bed.
Okay, at least
as
it's
like,
that,
I see you,
and not
goth.
like a vibrator. That happened to me, and that one was
Really?
awkward. Yeah.
When was this?
My mom like ended up cleaning out. It was in high school, so it's worse, you know?
Oh, God.
I know. I think I was a senior, and she ended up cleaning out. You know, you put your vibrator in your underwear drawer. Duh.
Like a normal person.
Like a normal person.
In the clean spot.
I don't know why she's cleaning out my underwear drawer. Like, I'm using this, you know? Like, and
Linda was looking for condoms.
Maybe, I don't know. And then, like, I had, like, the weirdest conversation with her, and she was just like, your toy's in this box in the closet. And I was like, what toy? And then I saw it was, like, my vibrator, and I was like, oh, no. And if it's not, like, a great vibrator. Like, it's from Spencer's. Like, I had a boy buy it for me. It was, like, $16. So, I was like, ooh. Maybe she was judging the quality.
She's like, I put this away and also on top of your bed.
She's like, I threw it away because this is garbage and that should be nowhere near your puss.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why didn't she just put it back?
She already found it once. I don't know.
Why move my stuff?
I don't know. I think it's a mom thing.
Weird.
Yeah.
Moms are weird.
She decided to spring clean and like the underwear drawer was in the way.
I can sense. I feel like I'm channeling this intense sexual energy from my daughter's underwear drawer, and I just have to clear it out.
I have to clear it out. Nothing good is in this drawer. It's probably about the time I started like buying thongs too, so it was probably just a very embarrassing thing.
That's so rough.
It's okay. No, I just don't buy underwear. Check. Who won now, Linda? I love you, Mom.
Okay, so next up is
witches in the news.
Witches in the news. Witches in the news. It's a witches in the news. Where are they coming from? They got things to do.
I want you to keep going. I don't want this song to stop. It's so good.
I appreciate you saying that.
You're welcome. So, remember how we talked about last time the Brett Kavanaugh hex?
Yes, I remember.
So, it has happened. It has been and gone. So, that was at Catlin Books in Brooklyn. And so, the Hex on Kavanaugh and Exorcism retrospective. According to a BBC News article, Dakota Bracchiali said the hex was aimed at exposing Brett Kavanaugh for what he truly is, to cause him harm and see him undone. And that is the owner of Catlin Books.
Yeah, that's here in
That's here in
Bushwick?
Brooklyn. Oh, I don't know.
Williamsburg?
exactly.
It's in Brooklyn.
It is in Brooklyn. It's somewhere. It's not far.
No, it's not far from
It's
here.
one of like the really cool witchcraft stores in the tri-state area. And half of the proceeds went to charity, which is awesome.
That is amazing.
But I also heard they created a community where they could basically release any trauma that they've had, just as the trauma that Kavanaugh has caused on multiple women. And it was just like a very safe and inviting community where they all did this hex. They said they don't know when this hex will like happen to him, but they were like, it'll happen. But you know, witchcraft takes its time. There was also a protest going on outside the whole time by a lot of like religious right-wing people. To be fair, the vernacular on to cause him harm and see him undone, those are
That's a
strong
little,
words.
yeah. Vicious.
So I can understand why. But to go as far as having like an exorcism at a church's mass the next day and all of this stuff, it's a little comical, especially for what he's done.
Yeah. Is this really worth defending? Is this man really
Yeah.
worth?
It's like,
Yeah.
ooh.
That's so cringy.
Yeah, choose a side.
And then they're going to do a second hex, right? I felt like there was talk last time of a second hex.
There is talk about a second hex. I'm not sure when that one's going to be, but they are talking. They were like, it went really well. We are definitely interested in having a second hex. And I think that bookstore, has hexed the Trump president
Oh, yeah.
like 3 times.
Yes.
And they were like, it's been successful because it's shown his taxes, it's shown Stormy Daniels, and it's just kind of unraveled a bunch of lies that the president has been feeding the American public. All very interesting. Not good. Not good stuff over here. Also in the news, John Proctor's home is on the market for $600,000.
Who's John Proctor, Alicia?
John Proctor was one of the accused witches in the Salem witch trial.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. He and his wife were accused of witchcraft. He ended up being killed, and his wife was only not killed because she was pregnant with child. So this beautiful 6-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Peabody, Massachusetts was built in 1638, and its mortgage is about $2,500 per month, so it's out of my price range. But I hope that someone can reclaim that house and just have a great time in it.
Do you think that that house is super haunted?
I don't know. There has been someone living there before, and I guess the only reason the house is on the market is because the most recent homeowner died. So I mean, if
There's
it's not
so much death. Oh my god.
there's a lot of death surrounding it, but I think he died of like old age or something.
Okay,
like,
living a really great life and having too many great cigarettes.
yeah,
too
they
many
didn't go
cigarillos.
into why he died. They were just like, oh, he's dead.
Viciously murdered. Viciously murdered by ghosts.
It's fine.
$2,500 a month.
Which I mean, you know, maybe get yourself and a few of your friends. I mean, 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
That's a lot.
That's pretty good.
That's like we all get a bunch of
Yeah.
People
How many people do we
together.
need?
to cleanse it.
And if there's like one couple, like I feel like we're set.
Yeah,
It's
I
only
know.
a few hundred a month.
416.66.
It's cheaper than what we're doing here. We should find 4 friends and move. Also in the news, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch came out.
Amazing!
It's so good.
It's so good.
Kiernan Shipka, who plays Sabrina, is adorable.
She's so adorable.
She's
Her
so
eyebrows
cute.
are amazing.
Her eyebrows are really good. I was looking at that too. There was a cute little online segment, like a little Instagram video where the old Sabrina the Teenage Witch cast like gave their best witches to the new cast. So cute. Harvey Kinkle, old Harvey Kinkle, lost a lot of hair.
I know. I had like such a crush on him
Me
when I was
too.
a kid. And the new Harvey, who I wish all
The new
best.
Harvey's a little awkward, but
He is
like I like him.
awkward.
He's endearing.
Okay, I trust him. He's just like not as much of a heartthrob as
Yeah.
old Harvey, who now also has like a goatee, which is just vile and disgusting.
Yeah.
I hate goatees.
I'm sure he's a great person though.
I'm sorry, Harvey.
He loves you regardless. He's good. Oh my god, that video though, the Instagram video was so funny because it looked like none of them had their shit together.
I know.
And it was just like all they had to say was best witches. And they're like not even in sync while doing that. They're so scattered. Oh, it was good. It was so fucking funny. Also, apparently, Kiernan Shipka admits in an interview that she and Salem sometimes don't get along. Salem, like the little cat.
Oh, really? Like the cat that plays a cat.
The cat that plays the cat.
Oh, that's
So I
funny.
guess the cat actor who plays Salem. And I guess it's because Kiernan is actually allergic to cats. So it's not the cat's fault.
No, it's not.
So when she said they don't get along, that was very misleading. So the cat isn't
Like we
mean.
share blame for our troubled
Yes.
relationship. It actually
It's actually very one-sided. It's her bad genetics. That's it. But I hope that they can get past this moment and that Kiernan can just take a bunch of Zyrtec and
Yeah.
call it a day, because this cat actor is just trying to be a professional.
he really is.
Yeah. so
Non-human feline persons deserve rights and respect just like anyone else.
they do. He has hours.
He
He's
has-
probably getting paid by the hour. Let's be real here. Pet actors, they got the real job. Like, they're good. They're good. And the last thing, which is going to be totally out of date by the time we release this podcast, but that's okay. That's how podcasts work. The Witch's Brew Frappuccino is out at Starbucks. Have you seen it? Have you seen
I've
the signs?
seen it. I saw the signs. I went to my Starbucks this morning.
Have you had one?
Just shout out to Brian, who makes my drink wrong every goddamn time.
Brian! Does he say your name right?
He does, and he
Okay.
knows me, and we've
Okay.
talked extensively.
And you're like, please, not you.
Anyone but you. Yeah, I've seen it. It's purple and green.
It's
And
purple and green. So it says on the Starbucks app that the Witch's Brew drink consists of orange cream flavor with imaginary bat warts and lizard scales.
Whoa.
And so upon further investigation, I found that to mean bat warts are chia seeds and lizard scales is what they call the green powder on the whipped cream. Okay, but my question, one, you lost me at orange cream because I'm not about this.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Also, how's the drink purple if it's orange cream? I don't know. This is some major witchcraft.
Chemicals.
Chemicals. Witchcraft. This is some major witchcraft going on because this shit doesn't make any sense. But two, chia seeds? Are you trying to put protein in my morning drink?
In my witch's brew? Protein?
Like, I don't want that.
In my mouth? No.
Nah, it ain't time for that.
No.
Also, why isn't it not a hot drink? One, because it'd be disgusting if those were a hot drink. But two, unless you're on the West Coast, which I've done that, been there, done that. It'll be warm and you'll be getting your pumpkin spice frappuccino probably for another 2 weeks. But everywhere else, it is cold.
Oh, it's freezing.
Okay,
Last
I
night,
guess not the
yesterday was
Southwest.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Cold.
I didn't go outside yesterday, so I actually don't know.
I like genuinely had a moment
Yeah,
where I was like, I made a mistake coming here. Why is anyone living here?
that's fair.
It's like, I just need to go back to Hawaii
Yeah, and be warm.
and be warm.
And be drinking this witch brew frappuccino.
I would be. I
You
don't
could
know
do
if it's
that.
vegan. I don't know.
It does not
The-
seem vegan.
The orange cream, I don't know.
It's called cream. I don't think that's vegan.
Cream.
I think that innately has milk in it. But I mean, what the fuck? Chia seeds? What the fuck?
Chia seeds?
What the fuck?
Am I breakfast? Am I one meal of the day?
Am I a bird?
Am I a bird?
No. So I don't want this. Get this out of here.
Do I look like a yoga mom?
No.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm about to be in my late 20s.
But I'm not a mom.
But I'm not a mom. So now it's time. Thank you for listening. To which, yes, we're about to enter our final. She's like, Alicia is doing these beautiful magical fingers.
Thank you.
She's flowing the energies between the tips of her fingers and like
Spirit fingers.
around us. Spirit fingers. It's so jazz hands, spirit hands.
Jazz hands.
So we're about to enter our final segment. Our spell. Alicia has found this spell for us. So we can all thank her.
And it's a spell to banish the blues. Ta-da.
You don't like the blues? I love the blues.
No, but I mean, by the time this episode comes out, we'll be in November. And the pretty part of autumn's over. The Halloween part of autumn is over, unfortunately. And you have to probably go to Thanksgiving dinner in a few weeks, and it's gonna suck.
It's gonna suck. It's
gonna suck.
stressful.
It's very stressful.
Your uncle's there,
Yeah,
and we all remember what happened last year.
I know. We all remember. So, if you're feeling a little down, here is a spell to make you feel a little bit better. And which I want to just say that do not use this spell in lieu of professional help. Like if you are feeling depressed and whatnot, either seasonal or just in general, you should go see a medical professional and get help from them.
Yeah,
Our
you
little
should.
witch doctors.
I mean, I see a therapist, or I've seen therapists before.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone should at some point in their life.
Yeah.
So
Go see a therapist.
go get help.
Go get help.
But until then,
Until then, let's light some candles, baby. Okay, just one candle. Ground and cleanse is step one.
we talked about this last time. Ground and cleanse before every meal of witchcraft.
You will need 1 red candle, and you will need 1 red jasper crystal, which you need to cleanse with rainwater and leave it out in sunlight for a day beforehand. So this takes a little prep work, so make sure that you're completely ready and prepared to do the spell. You will light the red candle as you visualize your depression being replaced by a newfound inner strength. As you visualize this, say, "Strength I have and inner love I have found. Depression does no longer have a place in my life." So just one more time, because that was a lot of words. Strength I have and inner love I have found. Depression does no longer have a place in my life. Keep repeating this over and over until it feels right with you to stop. And then afterwards, carry the red jasper with you and always light the red candle when you feel depressed.
And where did we find this spell?
And the spell is from The Little Big Book of White Spells by Ileana Abrev. So thank you.
Thanks, Ileana.
Thanks, Ileana.
Hit me up.
Hey.
Ileana's the only one that can at me. I only have 12 friends on Twitter.
Hey.
One's my mom.
I love her. She's great.
So that's with Jess. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you for listening. This was so much fun. I learned so much today.
Me too. I hope that you learned, and if you knew better than us, that you forgive us for the horrors.
Drop us a line outlining, like highlighting what we did wrong.
Please. I'm not going to read it. I mean, I might read it, and I'll cry.
I'll make our producer read it. It's okay.
So you can find us at witchyespodcast@gmail.com and on Instagram at witchyes. And we'd like to thank some special people that have helped us with this project.
We'd like to thank Marcel Pérez for being our producer and Mallory Porter for being our marketing consultant. And also thank you to Kevin MacLeod for having our theme song music.
And one more thank you to Ileana Abrev for being our spellcasting source for this week. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. And I'm Terra Keck, and you're...
I'm Alicia Herder.
And this is Witch Yes!
Have a witchy Wednesday.